Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Brother Banter Show. My name is Nick, and as always, I'm joined by my brother Jack.
Hey, how's it going?
And this is a great episode. We've got stories of inebriation, drunken tales, alcoholic adventures, whatever you want to call them. We've got them coming up in spades. But first, I just want to ask, how are you doing today, Jack?
I'm doing pretty well. Today's Thursday. It feels like the past few weeks have gone by super fast just because I've been really busy, just doing stuff for the paper and just been busy with class. Um, Not too much has happened. I've just been going through the paces down at the newspaper. I've had to go to a few different events that were just like super dry, like just things that I didn't really care for. I mean, I had to go to a Thai art workshop, and it was like kind of interesting. I only really cared for it because the teacher was like super into it, and he was very passionate about it. So I kind of got into that.
Okay.
Just been taking pictures and going to class. How was the baby shower?
It was really cool. So Hannah, a little backstory. Hannah and I had a baby shower on Saturday, and we streamed it on Facebook Live because we live in New York, but all of our family lives in Illinois. And it was supposed to start at 2 p.m. And I did not get to test it first before we started.
Oh,
And I just went on, I had Hannah log in on Facebook and sign into my computer, and I clicked go live, and nothing happened. Total panic
oh,
situation. It's like 1:58, and we are supposed to start at 2.
oh.
So I just took a shot in the dark and used OBS and put the stream key from Facebook into OBS and clicked start streaming, and it worked at like 2:01. I was
You
yeah,
go.
so I figured it out. It was kind of scary, but overall it went really well. It was really strange because you can't see anybody. I knew that there was like 40 people watching probably, but you can't see anyone. So it's just really weird, and you just see like the comments that people are making coming in, and I don't know. It was really interesting, kind of strange, but it was a lot of fun. We got a lot of good
Yeah, that
stuff from people. People are so generous. Thank you again uh, to everybody that donated.
Yeah, that's awesome. But I mean, that would be kind of peculiar as well. Like we just like only being able to see a text from somebody who can see like a video stream of you.
Yeah, yeah. And Dad sent me a couple of videos of what they were seeing, and it was like all of them, like Grandma, Grandpa, Pop, and Carol, sitting in the living room, and then we were just Hannah and I are just on the TV talking. Like it was kind of crazy
Yeah,
that they were having like a excuse me, they were having a watch party. So it was fun.
yeah. I was gonna go home, but I ended up having to do some stuff with my film class because a friend of my well, a friend and myself
Mhm.
took it upon ourselves because in this class, like we're setting up for this film festival, right? And we like my group designs like posters and for like that like just to let people know
Mhm.
that about our film festival, and so they printed out like 50 posters and like gave them to some of the students to like go put up around campus and shit, right? No one put up a single goddamn poster.
Of course.
So I took it upon myself with a friend, and we went to like the teacher, and we asked her to print out like 50 more so that we could actually like put them up. And I've got two in my room right now, but I think they're really cool. It's like Twilight Zone themed,
Mhm.
and it's just like trippy. And like we actually like put them up all over like campus like on Saturday. So and then Roy called me, and I tried to call you, but didn't work out.
Well, that's really cool that you get to be kind of a part of that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Um, Yeah, so we had a bunch of lake effect snow come through. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
didn't get nearly as much snow as we thought we were going to, but uh, that's just the nature of lake effect snow. You could get 3 inches or you could get 36.
Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
So how much did you end up getting though?
Probably 6 to 7 over
Not too bad.
over like 2 days.
That's not too
Mm-hmm.
bad. Oh, I mean, it's just been gross here. Like it'll be like it was like 36, 37. So like everything melted and then just froze overnight.
Yep, that's how it's been here. We'll get just dumped on with snow, and then it'll all melt, and that's it. It's gone, and then we'll get dumped on by snow. It'll melt, and oh, next Saturday, I so when this goes live, I will be ice fishing with Jake
Ooh,
Cronister and a couple of his friends. Yeah, I can't wait. It's gonna be a really nice day, like high of 36, sunny. So
that'll be
yeah, and
decent.
it's been really cold here, so the ice is thick and perfect. So I'm looking forward to that.
What's like, is it like a big lake you're going on, or
Yeah,
like a small pond that you know, or like,
no, big
and
lake.
how'd you find this?
Jake knows it. Uh, so yeah, we're gonna head out there early Saturday morning and just be slaying them, getting some perch.
Are you gonna try to keep some,
Oh yeah,
or are you just catch and release?
oh yeah,
Oh,
we're gonna
okay.
eat some perch. Is like some of the best eaten fish around.
Oh, oh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to mom the other day, and she's like, "What are you doing March 23rd?" And I was like, "I don't know, probably just going to class." So she's like, already planning for me going home to watch the dogs. And then a little bit later than that, Dad texted me, and he's like, "When are you out of school?" What are you talking about? It's like March, like, or not March, May 5th, or like something around there.
Mhm.
He's like, "Well, you know, your mother's gonna be wanting to go to New York to help take care of this baby, and you know, I've been thinking, it's like if she goes there, I might just go to Jeff's and go hang out with him. So like, you gonna be around?"
Mm.
It's like someone's got to take care of the dogs. It's like, yeah, I'll probably be around. I like there's this camera that I really want to save up for over this summer. So I got to put in the slave labor
Oh
hours.
yeah. What's that? What kind of camera?
Um, it is called a Sony A7 Mark III, and it is a mirrorless full frame camera. So
Mhm.
mine is a DSLR, my camera right now, which basically means it has a mirror inside of it, and when you take a picture, the mirror like flips up, and that's how it works. But this camera is full frame, shoots 24 megapixel pictures, which is a lot better than my camera right now, and it's a lot like Sony's really known for low light shooting, and so I would really like that, especially for like astrophotography. And they've got a lot of like good glass, like really good lenses that can
Mhm.
go along with that. And it also shoots 4K, and it's yeah, IBIS, which is like internal like stabilization.
Hmm.
And so yeah, you do a lot of stuff with it, and it's compatible with my uh Ronin, like my stabilizer.
Oh, nice. You could use that for this. You could use
Correct.
it as a video source.
Yeah, and it would look like a million times better.
Yeah, it would probably have probably wouldn't it would help for sure, but it would probably bog your computer down trying to because your internet
Oh yeah.
yeah, and your internet speed having to send that out to me, it might make it worse quality. Um,
Yeah, but I mean, that's what I was gonna try to do this summer.
cool. How much is that?
Just like 17, 1800, depends on if like the body itself is like 15, $1,600.
Mm-hmm.
So if I want to get a kit lens, it'd probably be closer to like $2 bills.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, just put in that sweat labor, sweat work,
Yeah. I
sweat
mean, I
equity.
look at it like this. It's like if I do this over the summer and I spend most of my money on that, I'll probably still have some like left over.
Mm-hmm.
And then by that time, I will be getting paid by the Northern Star to take pictures with that camera.
Mm.
So,
It'll help pay for itself.
correct.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Well, that's cool. Well, without further ado, let's get started on what nobody's gonna
I feel
tune
like
in
I
for.
told I feel like I told my best story.
Yeah.
Like one of my best stories was breaking into a 5-star hotel. Like I don't even I wish I knew what the hell happened that
Well, you can tell that one again, and we'll break that out into its own segment.
night.
Um, do you want to start with that, or do you want me to start?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so this is the story of the first time that I really was drunk. It was
Drunk. Wait, hold on. What do you mean by like drunk? Like drunk, like blacked out drunk, or the first time you ever really felt like intoxicated?
yes, the first time I ever felt really intoxicated,
Okay. All right. All right.
not blacked out.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the first time that I, Nick Gillette, have ever really felt drunk. So it was a friend of mine's graduation party in high school. I went over there, and me and all my friends, it was a big party. Me and all my friends,
What year were you?
I was a senior because we graduated.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't know if it was all right.
hmm So it was a big party. Everybody's hanging out, playing outside. We were playing like can jam and bags, just having a good time. And the girl whose graduation party it was kept bringing me Long Island iced teas, and I had literally never had one in my entire life to that point. And she just kept bringing them to me, and I was feeling fine, like feeling good, like having a good time, laughing, playing games. Um, and I never really felt like bad. I guess you know how like you can drink too much and you feel really full. I did not get that feeling. I was just you know feeling good, and
Yeah.
the night goes on and everybody starts to leave, and I'm like, I am not driving home. There's absolutely no way. I was terrified to drive home.
It's good.
So yeah, and so I slept on her couch. I laid down, and everything just started spinning. I was
Oh,
like, oh no, I've heard about this. This is not good. This is not good. Just go to sleep, Nick. Maybe you'll be fine.
no shot.
Nope. And so I eventually fall asleep, wake up, and I just feel like I got run over by a truck.
Oh yeah.
And she comes downstairs from her room and is like, okay, you need to go and get some McDonald's, eat some greasy food, and you'll feel better. It's like, oh, okay,
Hmm.
yeah, no problem. Sure, I can do that. So there's a McDonald's on the way back to our house from her place. So I go in there, order. I get like a bacon and cheese sandwich or something with 2 hash browns and orange juice.
Oh yeah.
Excuse
Gotta
me.
get 2 hash
Oh
browns.
yeah, always got to get an extra hash brown. And I'm sitting down. They give me my orange juice. I'm sitting down waiting for my food. I take a sip of my orange juice, and I'm like, oh boy, this is not, this is not good. And I'm just sitting there, like just like hunched over, waiting for my food. Them to tell me my food's up. So they call my name. I go up there, grab it, go sit back down. I'm just like sitting there, just staring at this sandwich. Then I'm nope. Get up, go run to the bathroom,
Oh.
throw up all over the toilet seat. I was the
Oh.
bad person that we were making fun of last week. That I was the reason why men's bathrooms are horrible that morning.
Yep. Yep.
So I throw up all over, and don't clean it up, of course. I just panic because I threw up everywhere. I'm like, oh God, somebody's gonna walk in at any second. So I rinse my mouth out real quick with water and grab my a little bag of food, my orange juice, and then run out, jump in the truck, and drive home, and then go to bed until about 2 in the afternoon. And, and then I was able to come downstairs and eat something, eat my meal from breakfast. And that was, man, I wish I could recover like that nowadays.
Yeah, you can't drink 3 beers and be okay
Nope.
anymore.
No, I probably
Oh
had like
man,
half a bottle of vodka with my freaking Long Island iced teas. But yeah, that's the story of my first time ever being drunk.
that was really. I thought that I was always under the impression that you drank a lot earlier than that.
No, I was never really into it.
So all right, all right. So the first time I ever drank, or the first time I ever was drunk,
Mm-hmm.
because I had there was a period of time in eighth grade. I was just like, because you were like gone, like kind of gone, kind of not gone, because you were like at fucking Wabanzi, but you're like, I don't know. I remember I didn't really ever see you that often
Well, that
because
was
I had
probably the
school to do and
summer
stuff.
after I graduated high school because
Yeah,
I was a senior when you were in eighth grade, right?
yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it's like coming into my freshman year of high school.
Right.
And so like I mixed like a bunch of like different like I had like this old like blender bottle type deal and I like mixed one night I mixed like a bunch of different shit and it was just the worst thing that I have ever drank in my entire life. I just mixed like a bunch of different like I was mixing like rum and vodka and like whatever the fuck that we had. I didn't care. I was just drinking and that was like the first time and I didn't feel anything. I just was like, this is terrible. I tried to water it down. I tried to put ice in it. I tried to mix it with juice. It was just terrible. Just threw it away. And then mom, you remember mom used to have like boxes of wine or like there used to be
Yeah, yeah,
boxes
yeah.
of wine at the house. And so like I was just like, well shit, like no one's gonna drink this. And then, like I tried it and it was like, okay, this is like grape juice, but like not good grape juice. And so like I was just like watching TV, like run to the refrigerator, like go take like a couple mouthfuls, like go run back, just like sit down, chill out for a while. And I did this for a while, and I was like, I went and like closed the refrigerator, and like all of a sudden, like I just like felt my face like really like flushed, like I was like starting to sweat a little bit. And I was like, holy shit, like what is going on here? And I was like super giggly, and like I remember just like just walking up and down the stairs like into the basement just because it was just like it felt so different. Like it felt so different like being able to like stand there and shit. So like I ran upstairs into my bed, right? And like I jumped, I was just like, I don't give a fuck. Like just ran and jumped into my bed. Lo and behold, I don't know how to deal with myself quite yet while I'm intoxicated. So I jump into my bed, flop, fall straight out of my bed, and just fall asleep on the floor.
Oh my god. Wow.
Yeah. That was I woke up on the ground and I was like, wow.
Jesus Christ. You're something else, you know that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh well. That's the way she goes. I mean, I seriously thought you drank a lot earlier than your senior year though. Christ. I was going to parties in high school. I was I was part of that alcoholism crowd.
Yeah, no, I didn't really do it.
Oh, whatever.
Not like getting drunk, but there was places that I would go where there was alcohol, but I just didn't really drink
Yeah.
because I didn't want to have to stay there. I always wanted to come home and sleep in my own bed. Still am that way.
That's how I like early in high school, I was all about that just because like I knew that mom and dad would never allow me to do anything like that. So I was more than willing to spend the night like early on in high school at anywhere that would have me. Like if we were just like drinking or whatever, doing anything, like I would much rather have spent the night at somebody else's house. But towards the end of high school, I started invite people over a lot more. And then it was good because you were still kind of around, and would just cop your ID and just go to 7-Eleven and just go buy liquor and then come back and just put your ID back in your wallet. Oh,
Jesus.
that's one of my that was another one of my good stories. So one night
Oh boy.
Jordan and huh?
Oh boy.
One night Jordan and Andrew Mount. I think you were, yeah, we played zombies together for a little while. Um, so my friend Jordan and Andrew come over and we're playing zombies and it's getting like kind of later. And I know you were drinking and then you had went somewhere else. You went upstairs or something. So uh Jordan, Andrew, and I snuck out of our house. But first I stole your ID because I knew that somebody was gonna have to get liquor. So we go to the 7-Eleven, talk to the Indian dude a little bit. You gotta like, I don't know, that I felt like that's how I had to go about it in my head, just to give myself like confidence a little bit. Like you gotta talk to him a little bit. Like, come on, you gotta be nice. And it's like, oh, like I'll just get like a bottle cap. And so he's like, oh, like sure, like let me see your ID. And I give him, I give him your ID. Like looks at it, like looks at me. He's like, oh fuck it, like whatever, here you go. And and so we like come back to the house and we're just playing like Call of Duty and just killed the whole bottle of fucking Cap. Just drank the whole bottle.
Wow.
And Andrew, like, because Jordan and I split the bottle, and then Andrew had like vodka of his own that he had brought because he was like really broke, and so he just chugs like the whole fucking bottle of vodka, and we're just playing zombies, and he's like starting to get loud and shit, and I was like, Andrew, you better be quiet, like we're gonna go on a walk, like fuck this, like I can't keep this kid in my house, we gotta go on a walk. So our house has, or our neighborhood has a bunch of bike paths and stuff that go through it, and one of which leads down to a creek. And so we were like walking out towards there. Little did I know, Jordan had stolen uh, some Al Capone. They're like little cigars, kind of cigarette type things from, yeah. Jordan had stolen these little like cigarette things from 7-Eleven, and so like we were like walking around and we were like by like the park, and fucking Andrew was just obliterated. Like this man was just sauced. He's Andrew is BBC 12 inch
Yeah.
on Xbox.
Yeah.
And
Look him
so
up.
and so Andrew's like stumbling all over the place. And we're like, Andrew, like Jordan stole these cigarettes. Like the dude, he's coming for us. Like we gotta run, we gotta go, we gotta go. And he's just like stumbling all over the place, like Naruto running, like just obliterated. And so like we just like walk around for a while and we get down to the creek and like Jordan wants to smoke these cigars like really bad. Like the nicotine takes the edge off. And so like we're like down underneath the bridge, like trying to light these fucking cigars, and it's so goddamn cold and windy outside. And fucking all of a sudden we're down there and like we're like talking, and I'm just like, Jordan, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. And like all of a sudden all you hear is, Jack, where are you guys? Where are you? Like so far, like you could tell he was yelling, like he was yelling, and it was just like, Jack. I was just like, what? Oh, I'll be back. And so like I like go out and Andrew's like in the middle of this fucking cornfield, in the middle of the cornfield. So I like run out after him, and like he's just laying down. He's like breathing super hard, and like, oh god, I used to have videos of this on my phone just because I was so baffled by it. And so like I get up to him and I'm like, Andrew, like what the fuck are you doing? Like you're gonna, like you can't go out onto the road. Like that's a main road. You're gonna get in, like a hit by a car or something.
Oh, he crossed 34?
No, he was
Or
trying. He was
oh
trying
my
to. He was
god.
going more towards Eldamain, but he
Oh,
was
oh,
trying.
okay.
But yeah, so he was just like started laughing, and I was like, God damn, you got out here quick. Like you're pretty fast. And he like starts laughing, and he looks at me. He's like, you think I'm fast? I was like, yeah, I guess. And he's like, you bet me I can't outrun you. I was like, Andrew, if you fucking run right now, like I am going to tackle you as hard as I can into this frozen cornfield. And so like he like starts like squirming, like trying to get up, takes off. I just put him on his ass. And then we walked home from there, and Andrew like chilled out because he was fucking sauced. And then I woke up to him puking at like 3 in the morning. And that's how my night ended.
Nice. That's a good story. What another story that we both can attribute to
Oh
is Nashville.
yeah.
How old were we?
um,
So I was
I
21, I think. I had just turned 21. I think you were
so I think I was
17.
17.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I was 21 and Jack was 17, we took a trip to Nashville, Tennessee. Just us two. Stayed in a hotel like adults. Um, and that was a good time. So one night we wanted to go out and go to the bars, but Jackson obviously is 20, or he's under 21, and so
Yeah.
when we got to this bar, I went in, showed the guy my ID, I got my hand stamped or whatever, and I went in for a few minutes, told Jackson to hang back, I'll figure something out, and so then it's like, okay, I got it. I figured it out. So I walk out. I say to the bouncer, I'll be like, all right, I'll be right back. I got to go smoke a cigarette. And then as I'm walking out, I slip Jackson my ID, and then he sneaks in. My ID works for him. The guy literally just saw it like 10 people ago and lets Jack in anyway, even though I damn well know he recognized the ID. And then
Oh.
I walk back in and just say, "What's going on, buddy?" And then, then we were in.
Yeah, my from my end, so like yeah, you went in to the bar, and like I was just like hanging out outside, and there was another bar outside of the place where we were at, and there was like stairs leading down into it. And I was just standing there like waiting, like I knew you were probably just gonna go in and like get a drink, like hang out for a little while or whatever. And so as I was standing there, I start hearing some girls yelling at each other, like aggressive yelling at each other. I'm just like, oh shit, like what the hell's going on here? Because is this after we were brown bagging that bottle of Fireball?
Yes.
So I was already kind of tipsy. So oh, I watch this large black woman drag this little blonde girl out like by like I want to say by her hair, but at the time I was kind of tipsy, but so I don't really quite remember all the details. But drags this girl out by like damn near her hair, and like throws her out. So get the fuck out of my bar! Like don't you ever like talk to me like that again. And like this girl had like a super southern accent and was like telling like how she's gonna call the police and get her father involved and he's a lawyer and all this shit. But yeah, then we got into the bar, and that was like literally my first like ever bar like experience. First time being able to go up and just be like, I want a Bud Light, and he's just not even gonna question it.
Yeah. And how was that experience?
That was awesome. That was awesome. Being able to go out and do that shit with you and just
Mm-hmm.
go. Yeah, I thought that was great. And like walking around downtown Nashville, like a little bit slammed. It was a lot of fun. It was really interesting. I remember that we left the bar and we met up, like we ended up talking to some guys on the street, and we were just basically just bragging about how we snuck me into the bar.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun. The thing that freaked me out though was earlier when we were driving around looking for a liquor store. We were driving
Oh,
through some pretty suspect neighborhoods. Um, and then we found one, and then we got that bottle of Fireball. Drank that as we were walking around. Got into the bar, and then we couldn't leave the car there. We had to get home, so I
oh yeah.
had I had to drive us back, and that was I should not have driven. That was not. Yeah, do not drink and drive because that was I was concerned. Um, so yeah, do not drink and drive, please.
No, yeah. We do not advocate drinking and driving.
No. but
until and
circumstance required that I get us home.
well, and I mean, even then, like Uber wasn't a thing. Like,
Right. Yeah.
I don't know if we could have really gotten a taxi back. Like, I mean, that could have been a lot worse. But I'm glad that it ended the way that it did. I had a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, me too.
But I went back to Tennessee one time with my friend Tyler, and we basically tried to do like the same shit, except we were both 20,
Mm.
and so like we went to like a bunch of like local like little bars, like just trying to like hang out and like talk to people to try to find someone who could like get us beer, and like it never really worked out. But I mean, one night we got a couple beers, but it didn't even like we just like walked around for hours anyways, and it didn't really matter. But like that was like one of the first Fortnite wins that I ever like really had. We came back, we came back from like walking around and shit, and Tyler's aunt was housing us, and she just like was feeding us beer. And Tyler had I don't remember if it was Tyler or if it was me, to be honest with you. One of us had brought weed along on this trip, and so like we just like snuck out like the back of his like aunt's house and just like smoked real quick. Came back inside, and that was like the first real Fortnite victory I had, and I was just like twisted. And I was super excited, but like couldn't yell or anything because it was like late as hell, and it wasn't my house. But I mean, it was a good time.
Well, that's fun. Nashville's a cool place.
Yeah, I would. I want to go back. I like the Smoky Mountains.
Yes, me too. Um. Okay. When I was in uh, college at Wabansie, we took a trip down to Florida for spring training for baseball.
For baseball. Yeah.
Yeah, and me and my two friends were desperate for somebody to get us alcohol because we were both at that time like 20
Mm-hmm.
and or probably I think 19. I think that was my freshman year, so we were 19 years old and just looking for somebody to get us something. And we were staying. Our team was staying in this pretty low end like motel kind of deal. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and there was these two guys that we saw driving around on these bikes. They literally rode like bicycles, and we were like, oh, that's cool. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
Florida. It's warm out. These guys are just cruising around all day, you know, or they go to work. They ride their bike to work or whatever in the morning, and come back and hang out at night. And so we asked them. We saw them on their bikes a second time later in the day, and we asked them like, "Hey, you know, you guys want to get us some beer?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure, sure." So they go in, they ride their bikes to the store, and like, so we give them some money, and they're like, can we get something for ourselves?" And it was like 9 a.m.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was 9 a.m. It was like our first day there, and first of all, to get to where they wanted to meet us, it was like 3 miles away. So we rented
Mm-hmm.
this bicycle that was like a 4-seater bike, and it was the hardest thing to pedal in the world. There was no gears, and because
Oh
of
man.
the way that and the wheels were tiny, so you had to like pedal super hard and get nowhere. So terrible design, terrible design. But we rented one of those things, rode that thing out to where they wanted to meet us, gave them the money, and then they went in, got like I think they got 2 bottles of Captain, and then each one of them got like a four pack of like tall boys of some like malt liquor thing.
Oh,
It looked
get some
gross.
Nickies.
Yeah, yeah, it looked
Ooh,
gross. And then they immediately, as soon as they got out of the store, both of them popped a top and just started drinking. I was like,
oh yeah.
okay, these guys are for sure alcoholics. And we started talking to them on, outside of the liquor store, just hanging out for a second before we took off back to our motel. And the one guy was like, "Yeah, I've got like 4 or 5 DUIs. That's why I got to ride my bike around everywhere. It's like I don't have a license anymore."
Say, yep, he
And
probably doesn't have a
then,
license.
and then the second guy said the same thing. He's like, "I just got one, so my license is suspended for however many months." Uh, and we're just like, "Damn, okay." And but it worked. We got our booze, and then we drank that throughout the trip. Um, and one night we had been drinking quite heavily because I think it was our day off, and so we like literally started in the morning and just drank all day.
Yeah.
And I was like getting in a Twitter fight Matt with Matt Thill,
Oh my God.
and I don't know why. He said something on Twitter, and then I responded or something, and it
Yeah.
just kept escalating and escalating or whatever. And I was super pissed off about it. I shouldn't have been, obviously, but I've been influenced by alcohol. And
This happens.
then I had to go to the bathroom. There was like a bunch of people in our room, and because we were all watching some basketball game, and there's a bunch of people in our room, and somebody was taking a shower, and I was like, okay, I need to go to the bathroom, but the door's locked. The person who was in the shower locked the door, which is dumb because there's like 7 other people there. You would think that as athletes, you can being in a
Be
locker room setting,
yeah.
yeah, you can have the door unlocked so somebody can come in and take a whiz while you're in the shower. That it's not too much to ask for, I don't think. But no, the door was locked, and so I'm just like banging on the door, and the guy in there is like, "Go away!" Like blah, 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 yelling at me.
Probably beaten off.
He was yelling at me, and I was like, uh, I was already pissed off. So I was like, okay, that just takes me to another level.
Oh
And
boy.
I was like, let me in, or I'm gonna break the door down. And he's like, oh, you won't break the door down, you idiot. And I was
Oh.
like, okay, and the fucking just shouldered the door, snapped it right off the hinges. The whole door just busts in. I'm like, oh fuck. Total like just sober immediately. I was like, oh no,
Oh,
I knew I fucked up. And it's just everything gets quiet, and you can just hear like the announcers in the basketball game in the background, and then I can just feel everybody like coming up behind me, like looking. And they're like, "Oh my god, what did you do?" I was like, "I got to go to the bathroom." Um, but yeah, so after that, I went pee, and
Wow.
then
I'd hope.
I was
Shit.
I was able I hit it so hard that it broke it clean off the hinges, like it wasn't splintered or anything. So I just grabbed the door, picked it up, and set it right back into the hinges, and it
Yeah.
it stayed. And you could even like open it if you were just very like pressed it very lightly, you could open it and it
Yeah.
wouldn't fall off. But if you pushed on it with any kind of force, it would just fall right off. So I got super lucky. When we left, I made sure that it was on there very good and open, so like the cleaning ladies wouldn't have to uh, mess with it and have it fall off. And we get back from our trip, and our coach is like, at the end of practice, a couple days later, he was like, "Okay, we gotta have a talk." And so everybody sits down.
Shit.
Yeah, everybody, the whole team, all the coaches, everybody. And I was like, oh no, I'm done. And he's like, the coach is like, does anybody have anything to say about the trip? We got some complaints from the cleaning crew. Does anybody have anything to say? If you don't have to say it now, but if you If you turn yourself in, you won't have a punishment.
Oh
You just need
fuck.
to man up and tell us what happened. And everybody's just like sitting there, and we're like, somebody asked like, what are you talking about exactly? And he's like, the pillows. And
What?
I was like, whew. Yeah. Apparently somebody stole some pillows or like ripped a pillow or something. So a pillow got destroyed or something. I was just like, oh my god. To this day, they never found out.
Um.
So yeah, got lucky. Broke a door so hard that it just snapped clean off and was able to successfully put it back onto the hinges without anybody noticing.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I punched 2 holes in that bathroom door and I never got caught. That's funny that we both fucked up a door somehow. Well, oh my god.
Doors keep people out. You got to knock doors down.
That's that's right. That's right. I've got stories from Florida as well.
Oh boy.
So my friend Tyler and I again, we went to visit. I've got a couple stories that I could tell because this is introducing a lot of characters. So went to Florida with my friend Tyler to go visit our mutual friend Madison Reeby because she lives in Florida or what have you, because for school and shit. So we go there and literally, if I could be a trophy husband, I would do it in a heart. God damn it. So these girls, like Madison had a roommate that we hung out with all the time. They're like really close friends. So these girls would go out and like go to work and shit, right? And Tyler and I would just be hungover as fuck, like all day until just about up until these girls would get home. And so like we'd like wake up, like start picking up the house and shit, like start like getting stuff ready for like dinner. It'll be about 2:30, 3 o'clock. We start cracking open beers, like getting ready for the night again. And we wouldn't stop drinking beers until about like 2 that night. And we climbed up on top of their roof one night. I'm pretty sure Madison and or her friend had almost fallen off said roof that night. Um, that was just a really good time. I thought it was really funny that we were like trophy husbands because like these girls would literally like go out to work and then come home, bring us beer, and like we would just be chilling. I almost got thrown out of a bar there because I have like they let you in to bars when you're not 21, but you can't like have a drink.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to a bar and Madison was 21, so she got a drink and she like asked me to hold it, and I was like trying to tell her no, like I'm not trying to hold it because if I get seen, like I'm gonna get thrown out. So of course, 3 seconds into me holding this cup, I get thrown out. And so like I was super drunk anyways. Like I didn't really care that I got kicked out. Like I was just more taking a break from drinking. So like I went outside and I sat down on this bench and mind you, it's like midnight. There's this old woman sitting outside this bar. And I sat down next to her, talked to her for like half an hour, smoked like 5 cigarettes with her,
Oh
like just
god.
talked like oh yeah, oh yeah. She talked to me for a long time. And we just sat out there. And she was like telling me we should go to some other place because like you could bet on a like conch shell or not conch shell, like whatever the fuck, little crustaceans. Like they have like races and shit.
Oh, like hermit crabs.
Yes,
Is that
yes.
it?
She was telling us we should go there, but we were sauced, man. We were looking for a ride home. But yeah, like that was I had a good time doing that too. I got super sunburnt though because I was like, ah, fuck it, I don't need sunscreen.
Wrong.
Mistakes were made.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Hmm.
Um, let's see.
You want to tell our the bad stories?
Well, I got another fun one.
Oh, all right, all right, all right.
Um, okay,
Oh yeah,
so
I got another one after you. Then we could tell it bad.
okay, So I'm like 22 years old. Me and my three friends go out to Naperville for this house party.
Oh
So
fuck.
we all rode together in the Jeep and and
Oh,
and Blake's Jeep, and
yeah.
we we park in the parking garage. Walk out to the party and just start pounding drinks. Anything that we can get our hands on, just chugging it, drinking and grabbing and chugging. That's it. Name of the
Yep.
game. And uh, a bunch of people show up. Like it was a good house party, and it's super hot in there. It was probably 45, 50 degrees outside, but
Yeah.
everybody in there was just sweating so bad. And there was this like a dancing room where it was like a kind of, yeah, that's where like the big speakers were.
That's where the twerk fest is.
Yes. And uh we're like, me and Blake are like pressed against the wall,
Oh man.
and he's like, it's so hot in here. Just takes his elbow, smashes this window.
No way.
Yeah, just smashes a window out. Like it's no big deal. I was like, what are you doing? You can't just destroy somebody's house. Oh god. And immediately,
Shit.
like, I looked around and nobody noticed because it was so loud and there was so many people in there that you couldn't notice. Um and I was like, why did he do that? So I look at the window and I try to just open it. It's nailed closed. It's like, why do you have nailed closed windows?
What the hell kind of demons are they trying to keep
I
out?
don't know, but I was like kind of terrified after that. Not because he broke the window and I thought we were going to get in trouble for it, because why do they have nailed closed
Nails.
windows?
Yeah, what the hell?
But yeah, we so then after that we went downtown, and there was like this hot dog guy, and he was
Yeah.
selling these hot dogs, and there was like one with like pulled pork and like chili cheese fries and stuff on there, and of course they all got one of these giant nasty hot dogs and ate it. It was like 2 in the morning, and
Oh yeah.
it was probably good to them, but it just looked gross to me, so I passed. And also I had no money, so.
It's the way of the road sometimes.
Oh yeah, and then one of our friends had one of those little like blow things, so you could check
Oh
your blood
yeah.
alcohol content.
Yeah.
Um, and so we were all like blowing it to see who was the who was the lowest, who could drive home, and
Oh fuck.
they were all like point 0.87, like 0.93 and point 0.7 something, and I was
Yeah.
like 0.62. So I was like, oh, good. So now I got to drive these morons home. Um,
Jesus.
but yeah, that was a fun night in Naperville, with that ended with a broken window and a gross hot dog.
God damn. I've never been drinking in Naperville. I feel like it's a lot of money and not worth my time.
There's cheap places that you can go, but yeah, if you go to like where everybody goes, the
Yeah.
fancy places, obviously it's gonna cost more. But you can go and get like a $3 beer,
Hmm.
no problem.
Well, that's decent. Um, I got two stories to tell. One real quick because I don't know if you remember this, but I invited you to a house party at one of my friends' houses, and we ran BP for like 4 or 5 games, and then fucking Roy, my friend Roy, and his girlfriend at the time, both virgin BP players, both of them. We're I don't know if we're just fucking slammed at that point or we're just like don't even care anymore. But we coming off of like a 5 game win streak, lose to two complete freshmen, and
Beginner's luck.
he brings it up to this day.
Give
I just wanted to
give
throw
him
that in.
that one victory. Well, let him have that one. I mean, even though if we play 99 times out of 100 we win, give him that one out of 100.
That's true. I just thought that was really funny because he still gives me shit about it. But
Eh, be like, no, you want to play again?
yeah, exactly, exactly. But he likes drinking tequila, and he always tries to make me drink tequila, and I'm not a fan, not a
I
fan of tequila.
love tequila on the rocks with a little bit of lime, just straight. It's so good.
Fucked. Um, this next story is a big dedication to Fireball and my short-lived. Fireball was my drink for a long time. All right. So one fateful eve, I get invited to my friend Andrew's house to go and drink because his parents and all of his family were gone. Show up a little bit early because I like helping out, like trying to set up and shit because he's a good friend of mine. So like I was there, like hanging out, and then I had to go and get liquor from somebody. It was probably Blake, to be honest. And so uh I went out and got the bottle of Fireball. I came back and it was like kind of later, like the party had started, and I'm like walking around, like talking to people, taking my time because there's a bunch of people there, and they're like everybody I walked up to, they're just like, man, you need to go downstairs. You need to go downstairs. I was like, what do you mean? Like, I need to go downstairs. So I was like, all right, yeah, like sure, like whatever. Like, kept walking past, kept saying hi to people, just taking my goddamn time. Literally everybody I walked up to, Jack, you need to go downstairs. I'm like, what in the fuck is like, where's the fire? Like, what is going on? Like, what the fuck? And so like, I walk downstairs. I'm stone sober. I have not had a drink at all. Walk downstairs. I see my friend Jordan. He's standing there. And he's like, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. I'm just like, what the fuck? Because like the stairway going down, it's like straight down and then like a hairpin turn. So like I can't see around the corner to the left of where the basement is, where everything's at. And so I turn this corner and like I look around and I'm just like, oh, I don't fucking see anything wrong with this room. And I was like, whoa, wait, why is that table upside down? And I was like, wait a second. Where'd they get the table? There was a pool. That's a pool table upside down. And I was like, what the fuck happened? Because all the legs were broken off this pool table.
Oh
It was
my god.
literally just the top of the pool table upside down. And so like Jordan's like yelling at Andrew, I'm going to get self tappers from the garage. We need a screwdriver. And like I just like looked around and like a bunch of people were like looking at me like, what the fuck do we do? Because like there's certain people we looked to in times of trouble for guidance, and I was one of these people at that time. And so like I just fucking looked around at everybody, cracked a bottle of Fireball, and just started fucking drinking it. Sat there for like 3 hours, just putting so many self-tapping screws into the legs to just fucking try to get them to stick to anything. Flip the table over, looked fair. It didn't look right, but it looked okay enough. And so it went on for like 2 months, and his mom didn't even fucking notice. But then he got caught, and I don't remember the rest of that story, but that was ridiculous. They flipped the table because it was like the Cubs had just won, and it was like fucking flip the W or whatever the hell was the thing. I don't know, but that was a bad time, but it was awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, never in my life would I ever have thought that I was going to fix a pool table while severely inebriated.
Nice. Um okay.
Oh yeah.
So this
I think it's funny that we both have like bad stories. Like
yeah.
one like really bad one, and then there's like
Mhm.
the rest is like nah, it's fine.
So this is the story of why I cannot drink vodka and orange juice. So one fateful day, I invited in college. I believe, no, I was 20. Yeah, I think I was 20 years old. I invited some of my baseball playing friends over for a bonfire. Innocent enough, right? So I get the bright idea to start drinking screwdrivers, which is vodka and orange juice. And so, I have a few. I don't know any proportions. Like, I'm just dumping a bunch of vodka in, splashing some orange juice, throwing a couple ice cubes in, and calling it good. But apparently put way too much vodka in every single time. So, feeling pretty good, and there's a lot of people coming through and saying hi, and we're having a good time. One of my friends gives me some actual like chewing tobacco, the kind that you literally chew with your mouth.
Oh,
It's not like the pouches or
yeah.
the little shreds that you stick in your lip.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally you chew it. And there's like, oh yeah, chew this and then mix it with some gum.
Mm.
So it gives me like 4 or 5 pieces of gum. I'm just chomping on this chewing tobacco with gum, and it tasted pretty good. I I would do that if I hadn't had this experience. So the night goes on, people start to leave, and I start to feel very sick. Uh, so I go around the corner of the house and take a knee and proceed to eject all fluids from my body. And uh, yeah, I was sitting there throwing up everywhere, all over for a long time. And then,
Ah.
so at this point, I only remember certain like
All right.
seconds.
Let me fill you in some. You missed a lot of stuff.
Okay.
So, first of all, I was there. I tagged along. I tried to be friends with as many of your friends as I feel like I could at the time. So I hung out with you guys for a while, and I noticed things were getting a little rowdy. I was like, all right, I'm a head out because I don't know if you remember this at all. You're like, Jack, like we need to go get firewood. Like who can we steal
Oh my
firewood from?
god.
And I was like, yep. We went over to like our neighbor's house, grabbed some firewood, came back home, and you're like trying to like you're like pushing me around, like trying to tackle me and shit. And it was just funny as hell. So I leave, and like you're pretty drunk. Like there was only like 4 or 5 people there, and I was like gone. I left, and I didn't get back till like midnight. And I walked back, and Tanner Cook's like, Jack, like you need to get your brother. And I was like, oh fuck. And so like we walk around to the side and you're just like laying there on the side, just with your pants half down, your like whole ass hanging out, and you're just like moaning basically. Like you're just
Mm.
like it sounds like death. And I was just like, holy shit, man. And so I was like, what do you want me to do? I'll go get like like I was like dead ass like gonna like let you sleep outside. Like I was like gonna go get you some blankets and like shit. And I was just like, oh fuck, you're just like go get mom, like go get mom. And so like I ran inside and I was like, mom, like Nick's on the side of the house, like he's puking everywhere, like oh god. So we bring you inside and you like puked a little bit again in the bathroom, and then all of a sudden I hear like the toilet like flush again, and you like came out, and you're just like holy fuck, and you just like laid down on like the couch and just KO'd, and I like went into the bathroom, and you did not flush the toilet, but that was the most disgusting shit I have ever seen. Like it wasn't just like the shit, because like there's the strong all right, so like the only way I can describe this is like kind of like how
Oh.
you'd film something. Like the visual was bad. Like I looked down into that toilet, it was just a slurry of stuff. Okay, and then on top of that, you got like the smell of just fresh shit mixed with about a liter and a half of vodka just poured all
Oh,
over the room.
oh.
Like that's exactly like what I smelled when I walked into there. Oh man.
Okay, so what I remember is I remember laying on the side of the house in the cold ground. It felt so good because I
Yeah.
was like overheating or something, and then there was like it had started to sprinkle rain, and the raindrops or like the mist. It was like a misty rain just hitting my face, and it was so cool. It felt so good, and then I remember Tanner standing over me, and then I remember walking inside, and then I remember
Mom and
sitting.
I carried you inside. There was like no there you gave no effort.
Well, whatever. I remember floating inside, and then I remember sitting on the toilet, and then I remember being on the couch.
Yep.
And then the next day, we were gonna go to grandma's house for I think it was like Easter or
Yeah.
something.
It
Some
was Easter or New Year's or something like
I
that.
think I think it was Easter. Um, and mom like woke me up and was like, "Okay, go shower. We got to go to grandma's." And so I walked downstairs to go to the shower, and I am just feeling like death. And I turn the shower on, just like as hot as it can go. I'm just like sitting there, just throw up all over myself in the shower.
Oh.
Clean that off, and then I was able to get dressed, and then we go to grandma's house, and I just lay on the couch. Couldn't eat anything, and yeah, now that was the most hungover. That was the most sick I've ever been.
I don't know. I've got some bad times.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah. That was your bad experience. Mine happened. My bad experience was the graduation party that I went to. So, so we went to a friend's house for a graduation party, and then like I got word that a bunch of people were going to Madison Reeby's house for like the actual graduation party. You know what I'm saying?
Mm. Yeah.
So I was like, Jordan, hook me up with a fifth Fireball. Let's ride. And so we went to Madison's house. I drank, or I went to Madison's house and I took a shower at Madison's house. I don't know why I did that, but I felt the need to take a shower at Madison's house. And I remember I hadn't really eaten too much, and so I knew I was setting myself up for failure a little bit. So, I drank, I drank all of the Fireball in my fifth, and then they brought out Jello shots, and I swear to God, I took like between 20 and 30 Jello shots.
Wow.
Yes, it was. I'm telling you, it was just bad. Like it was just all around big old bad. And so I remember playing BP for a little while. I remember talking to a lot of people and playing with a cat. We played with this little baby cat for a really long time, trying to act like it was Simba and shit. Like hold.
Oh my god.
Yeah, just drunk as fuck. And so yeah, and then remember someone brought out a bottle of Jack, and I think Tanner Rosati and I were just taking pulls out of the bottle. And then I remember being outside for a really long time, and I was talking to people outside. I don't remember seeing anything. I just remember talking to people. And then I don't remember shit. And then it's like a big space of black, and then I remember feeling tears on my face. I remember feeling tears, and then um I remember mom kicking me. This is all I remember is mom kicking me like so I wasn't like laying on my back and gonna vomit in my own mouth.
All
And
right.
that's
Let
all.
me let me
That's
cut
all I
it.
remember at night.
Okay. So let me fill you in a little bit.
Yeah.
So I was at um the same night I was at a wedding, and I was drunk, so I couldn't rescue Jackson, but he messaged me, or you called me and said that you needed to be picked up or something. I could barely understand what you were saying.
Oh yeah.
But I was like, I was like, oh God, I gotta go save my brother. So I freaking I'm drunk. But I get in my car. We're the wedding that I was at was in the middle of nowhere, out in the cornfields. So I was like, okay, if I drive slowly, I could probably get there. So I get in my
Yeah.
car, and I start driving down this country road, and I get to like the first stop sign, like outside of the house, and I was like, oh, this is a horrible idea. What am I doing? So I put the car in park in the middle of the road,
Yeah.
and because there's nobody out there, it's just
Yeah.
so then I call mom, and I was like, okay, you need to go pick up Jackson, and I sent her the location that you sent me
Hmm.
from your phone. Thankfully, I don't know how you managed to send me your location, but you
I don't.
did. It's a mystery to this day.
Yeah.
Um, so thankfully you did, and then I forwarded that to mom, and then she went, picked you up, and then kicked you to make sure that you weren't laying on your back.
Well, I was, yeah, puking in my sleep. And then the next day, when I recovered a little bit, I remember I remember waking up and like the first thing I really saw was just red. There was like red all around me. I was like, what the fuck? What is that? And like I was just like, oh, head hurt so bad. And like I like sat up a little bit and I was just dizzier than all shit. And like I could feel like all my hair was just like stuck to my head.
Oh.
And so like I sat up and I was like covered in puke. And like I like walked downstairs and like talked to you guys for a little bit. And it was like nobody was like really mad. I mean, I didn't like drive home or nothing, like called for a ride. But like, there's mom and dad were mad at me because I lied about where I was at technically that night. But I ended up puking all over my mom's back seat, and I had to clean that out the next day. Shout out to John Nunez who kind of helped me out with that because I was still so drunk the next day. Like, the best way I could describe it to people is like I woke up that morning with like a head, it was like a day drinking. It was like the mid afternoon hangover,
Hmm.
and then like I didn't really get like a really bad hangover until like the following morning. I was just like, holy fuck! It was just bad news bears. I had to have been pretty close to alcohol poisoning.
Yeah, probably. I think I was that night. I slept on the side of the house.
Yeah, damn.
Um, but yeah, after all these experiences, and I think I'm okay. So I was, you're able to when you're young, you're able to recover a lot better.
Yeah,
But like now, if I have 4 or 5 drinks, I wake up the next morning with a just terrible headache, like at the base of my skull. So I think I'm only gonna drink like on special occasions. Like I'll have a beer, or a
yeah,
glass of whiskey, or a glass of wine on special occasions. Like, and now, like Hannah could, well, not now, but in probably like 2 or 3 more weeks, Hannah could like go into labor at like any time.
yeah,
So I can't just be running around drinking and then like, oh, I gotta go take my wife to the hospital to have a baby. Like, how irresponsible would that be if I was doing that? So
yeah.
now, like, I'm kind of getting like a different perspective. Like what do I need to like get drunk for?
Hmm.
So, um, and also like sometimes if I start drinking and like we're having a good time and it's just there, like alcohol is there, like there's another beer. If I go to the fridge, there's another beer. Like I'll just grab one. Like it's like I can't. It's like I know I should stop, but I don't. I don't know why. It's like because just goes down so easy.
Soon as it hits your
Yeah,
lips,
yeah, and
it's
then
so good. Right.
then you're in the bathroom throwing up. Like what? You're an adult. Be responsible. So I need to not do that kind of thing anymore.
It's it's okay in certain instances. Like if you're hanging out with people and you're having a good time, yeah, like sure, like why not? Like I think it'd be okay to drink another beer or seven, whatever works. But if you're just doing that shit every day, or like you're just sitting there and you're just like, well, I've got a 30 rack in my room, like I might as well fucking drink it. Like, yeah, that's a problem. But I ain't there yet with my body, so I still drink on occasion. Like I don't really enjoy drinking as much as I do like smoking weed, but
Mm,
uh, I don't know. I like I said, alcohol makes you feel like shit.
yeah. I
So.
so that's one thing that I've thought about too is if in New York marijuana is not recreationally legal.
Hmm.
So I was like, well, if you could smoke all you want, smoke yourself under the freaking table, and you just wake up the next day feeling great because you had the best night of sleep ever. But if you do that with alcohol, you feel
You're
like
gonna fucking
death
die.
for like another day and a half, you know. So,
Yeah.
I've thought about that. Like if I wanted to alter my consciousness in a way, because
Hmm.
that's what you're doing when you drink. You alter, your central nervous system. Um, so if I wanted to feel different, like you do when you drink, why wouldn't I do that with marijuana instead? Because the consequences aren't nearly as bad.
I don't think so. I don't know. It's about to be spring break. I'm gonna get this tax return. I'm gonna see if Pop has any work for me, and then I'm probably going to stay in DeKalb for spring break, and or well, I'm gonna go to like the same dispensary I went to last time, and I'm gonna get so there's indica and sativa, and they have edibles of both. And so the last time when I went in January to the dispensary, I got both indica. And indica is like supposed to put you in like couch lock. And so let me tell you, it fucking does. And like I can handle my shit. So I'm really interested to try sativa this time because like um you saw did you see mom got me this really big like uh drawing like pad type deal. And so like I really want to try taking like a sativa edible and then like trying to like draw it because like I've been
Huh.
like trying to figure out how to do like a
Oh,
cityscape,
perspective. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
like perspective drawings and
Uh
stuff.
huh.
So, I mean, I've always like really liked drawing, but
Okay.
I just think it's interesting. Like, art's just different. Like,
Mhm.
you can look at things at so many different perspectives, but like, mom and dad are gonna disagree. But like, you go into with the thinking about something from a sober point of view, you think about it in the same way. You go about thinking about it in the same way that you always have. But from what I've noticed, I've questioned things. Like I've known that like male privilege is like a thing, or like fucking not even like male privilege, but like shit. I don't know how to what I'm describing. So like a lot of my friends who are girls would like always tell me about how they're like petrified of like going into like um parking garages or like walking home from like class at night and like things like that. And like I never really like understood that because like I've never really had that problem, and like I never really understood it from like a sober point of view because like I've never really like thought about it. Like I never really cared to think about it because I just thought everybody was just like me.
Mhm.
And then one time I was like smoking a joint with some girls, like just like talking, just like being open and genuine people with one another, and like they're like telling me like horror stories of like people who are seemingly innocent, like going about things, like just being super fucking creepy, and I was like, damn, like I could really now respect why girls like go out of their way to get like pepper spray and like mace and like fucking do shit like that because there's some crazy fucking people out there, and I
Yeah.
never really thought about it. And weed is technically like fuck. I can't think of words now. It's um like a psychedelic drug technically. So you like it just enables like your brain to think about new things and be able to think like create new neural pathways so you can connect things to one another that like you normally wouldn't have like even thought to put together.
Yeah, yeah. It alters your perception, so you
Yes.
can see things in a different way, like you said.
Yeah, which I think is really interesting and has helped me a lot with just like people in general. So I don't know. I'm preaching about weed.
Yeah.
I enjoy it a lot.
Um. Okay. Well, I think we need to wrap it up. It's been, we're at an hour 15 now. Um.
Oh, decent.
So yeah, this was a fun one. We got some good stories out there. Hope everybody enjoyed listening. Still not sponsored by Yeti yet. I'm waiting for that. Waiting for that to come in.
I haven't drank anything. My mouth is dry as shit.
It's because you don't have your beautiful Yeti Rambler right next to you.
Yeah. You gotta talk into the mic like it's a
This
get that
this
beautiful Yeti Rambler.
marvelous stainless
Singular.
steel insulated cylinder of beauty and power and goodness.
That's right. And if you run out of water and you ever get in trouble, you can just beat somebody over the head and kill them with it.
That's how we're gonna end it. All right, see you, folks.